Good morning and welcome to the real estate meme stream. We do this every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Now it's important, public service notice. This is not work. This is not business. This is merely a time to relax, to get some humor in. I'm going to actually turn the lights on here because we're not that serious. We haven't started work yet. There we go. I'm glad I was wearing pants. This is important to maintain mental health is having something to laugh at. And so what we do is we review real estate memes. This is from the Facebook group Real Estate Humor. And if you have funny memes, feel free to post them there. Maybe put on the show. If you're watching this live and have comments, feel free to put comments in the comment box because I'll respond to them as best I can. But this is meant to have fun. This is meant to be light. Start a day off with a laugh or two before we get into the real estate business. This is really oriented towards real estate professionals, but also buyers and sellers will hopefully appreciate some of the humor. Now, if you like this, obviously like it, subscribe it. But better than that, go into real estate humor, put your best joke, find the best meme, and let's make this a place we can work together to keep our mental sanity. Now, anyhow, so let's get started in this, and I need to present. Let's get the screen, and we are off and running. First meme of the day. So this is the clients meeting, this is the old days where clients came to the office. We want a cozy, secluded 20-acre farm surrounded by hills, trees, and streams, within walking distance to shops, restaurants, schools, theaters, and hot night spots. Yes, oftentimes people want it all, and they don't realize that unless you are paying, tens of millions of dollars, you'll get all. And even those people don't get it all. There's always something else that those bigger houses get. So welcome to real estate, and that's what it's like to deal with people. Okay, next one's a little harder to read. It's a little smaller copy, but basically it's the wife yelling to the husband, I'm trying to make the house presentable for the buyers. Can you go fishing for the day? So the real joke here is obviously in general that wives are against the husbands going out fishing, but here's a case where she's saying, get out of the house and go do something fun. And this is a common issue when you have a house that people are living in. How do you get people... Jeff Baker, you're a funny guy. I'm happy and I'm wearing pants, and I'm pretty sure you're happier than I am. Yes, I think you are. Okay. So anyhow, there's a meme. If you're married, you maybe appreciate that one. Maybe if you're a wife, you feel like that's unfair. Put your comment down below. Okay, next. Hiring real estate agents are like hiring a photographer. This is so true. The left is what the realtor looks like. When you hire professional, you get professional service, professional look, a whole glam shot. And then the realtor that you do it on your own, if you can sell a house on your own, you look like the girl on the right. So yes, that's a fair look. And I think the idea of this meme also is, on the left, she's in the wave, and the right, the wave's pulled away, and that's what she looks like afterwards. And I think that's also true, that sellers who sell houses on their own, they look like the lady on the right. So not for the meek of heart. I always tell people all the time, it's a tough business. This is how we get paid. Okay, next. My realtor said if I'm cleaning my house, the only visitors I'll have are blindfolded people coming to shoot a Febreze commercial. Yeah, again, this is more for the retail seller who's living in the house, but come on, clean the house up. Let's get the smell out of there, and let's make it as presentable as possible. You're selling something that's the highest portion of your personal net worth. Let's at least make it as presentable as we possibly can. Okay, next one's small, again, to see, but the place is spacious, has 2 bedrooms plus all of the amenities. And so again, I think it's relative depending on where you live, what all the amenities are. It's interesting when I see people talk about houses in different markets, how much they push certain things, other things are not as important. Fascinating, on this point, if you were on my real estate investing call the other day, I had a friend of mine who does multifamily in Chicago. And it's amazing how in Chicago, in the city, they make such a big deal of such small little patio areas. They get summertime, a month of the year. And it seems like people take that space very seriously. And I know my backyard, we don't really maximize that. We have a nice sized backyard. We have great weather in California. And we're, in the backyard, in and out all year long. We don't take it quite as seriously as people, I guess, who only have a month or so. So anyhow, okay. I love this one. When I saw this one, I laughed out loud. If women watch reality real estate shows the way guys watch sports, you know, the problem with these real estate reality shows is people watch them like they're rooting for them, like they're The Bachelor, not like a football game. Because if you watch a reality show, yeah, so women would say, oh my God, it's hardly what I call staging. They would pick apart the staging. I never saw like that, moron. Yeah, second guessing how people do things. We watch these reality shows and they look so sophisticated and so put together. Okay, next one. Hey, and by the way, put your comments. I mean, Jeff Baker is dominating today. I'm on a roll here. Sorry, Jeff Baker, miss you, buddy. But here you're a chance to get together, and I like to see you contribute some memes. Put memes in the comments too. I'll click on them. Okay, next. The gypsy palm reader says to the customer, "The good news is I see you selling many houses. The bad news is you're playing Monopoly." Now, there's two parts to that. One is it's a game, not real life. And second, in Monopoly, you want to buy houses, you don't want to sell houses. Maybe you want to trade them in for hotels, but you don't want to be selling houses for sure. That means you hit something, you have to pay back. Okay, next, and I love this one. I sent out a box of donuts at work just to see how many New Year's resolutions I could mess with. It is amazing. If you've ever been in a real estate office, two things. One, how much food comes in an office. It just, salespeople, vendors, and then even people work in the office bring stuff in. It's amazing how there are real estate agents who I think live on the food that comes in the office. And the second is how people just destroy whatever food is there. And it's like there are people who live off of that. It's true, I guess. Maybe it's not funny. I don't know. But anyhow, there's never any good food that's healthy for us. Okay. Next. Maybe I got a little carried away with the decorations. Now, this is back from Christmas time and maybe Christmas. But, we've all seen houses over decorated. And this one is just maybe it's a little more holiday oriented. Okay. Next. Again, this is coming from a holiday season. I'd order one more closet space. Yeah, you can always find something to make fun of a house or to knock a house. And again, I think buyers are always, will find one or two things missing. You can focus on that. I tell people, buyer's agents, when they're disappointed with their buyers, I say, most buyers want to buy a house for $18. They want to buy a $20 bill for $18. It just doesn't work that way. In most people's price ranges, there are sacrifices, and closet space might be one of them. But still, I don't know how I got in this holiday kick as I went through these. All the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. He has their names up on. Oh, I know. I'm in the wrong spot. I'm not in my saved. I don't think I'm in my saved spot here. Yeah, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, I'm sorry. I am. Yeah, I'm newer to this technology here, saving memes. Okay. Have you had the house on the market long? This is funny. When you see an open house and it looks like it's been there for a while, I used to call expired listings. So they'd be on the market and then off and on and then off. And there was the occasional seller who had the house on the market for 2 years, and they had a series of open house signs, and they looked every bit of it. So, yeah. Okay. So here's the buyer. If the seller's willing to replace the roof, add a deck, put in a fireplace, an indoor pool, extend the living room by 15 feet, and move the whole place to the other side of town, then we'd definitely be interested. Yeah, and so I had that. I had that once where I had an inspection on a $350,000 house, and I got back a $60,000 credit for improvements that the buyer wanted to make. And I said, that's 15. It's 15%. So maybe it's $45,000 or $50,000. I said 15% is not a credit for defects. 50% is a value-add construction project. So anyhow, yeah, there are buyers who kind of want that, and that doesn't really work so well. Okay, so this is a classic one. We have a problem. For sale, no it's not. For sale, no it's not. So there are times we have two spouses, and there are times that as an agent, you submit the offer and you wonder why haven't they responded to it, and the other agent will say, well, the husband and wife are having difficulty deciding when to sell or not, and that's a classic cartoon making fun of that reality. Been there on that one, strikes close to home. Okay, so here's another one. The guy's at a phone booth. He goes, fireplace? Yeah, it's got a fireplace. Views from every room? Yeah, it has views. Plenty of sunlight? Yeah, plenty of sunlight. You know, I've sold houses that were burned down. And it's interesting when people will call and they haven't seen the house. I'll just say, have you seen it? Have you looked at the MLS or have you driven by it? Yeah, I have. You know, do you think it can qualify for an FHA loan? And I'd say, it's burned down. No. Have you looked at the house? That's why I asked you. So, yeah, I think sometimes you have to be realistic on what you're looking for. And that's part of the whole real estate process. Okay, so where are we here on that one? Okay, next. This is the classic line. Every realtor who's ever been on a listing appointment has heard. No doubt about it. Let me see here. Let me get this back. There we go. No. Oops, I'm having some technical difficulties today. Why is this being difficult to me here? I don't understand. I don't want it that way. I want it that way. There we go. Okay. Yes, I know what the comps say, but my house is special. Classic. My house is special. Don't you know that my house, and the reality is that, you know, every house is special. As a realtor, my job is to get not what the average consensus is for the house, but to get the buyer willing to pay the most and close for the most. That said, it's only so special. And I think sometimes there's Jeff Baker and saying, thinking you're stealing some of my old EXP meme posts. You know, Jeff, I'd love to find your old posts somewhere. That would make my job a little easier preparing for the show. So, but thank you for that. Okay, next, where are we here? So here's a real estate agent with signs up, a real turkey, avoid this one, what a dump. As a real estate firm, you'll find us very honest. Yeah, there's no such thing as that. I think that most of the time these properties are oversold, but it would be funny if a real estate agent was actually that honest and put up their what the real value of the house was. Here's one, house for sale written on the house. You know, it's funny, the flip of this is the car that says for sale by owner, as if, well, who else would say it's for sale and drive around with a sign on it? But here's a house for sale, and they're too cheap to put a sign up, and they actually painted it on their house. So that one's tells you those sellers are a little different. I love, now this is a classic meme picture, and then the text on it, millennial home buyers waiting for the next recession. You know, I primarily work with sellers. I work with investors. I'm a specialist in probate real estate. And so I'm often working with buyer's agents, and I feel the challenge they deal with, because there are certain buyers who, you know, I think when you grow up in the internet age and grow up in the iPhone age, you assume you know everything. Everybody has a take. Everybody's opinion is important. And they know the market's going to crash, and they're going to be able to buy a house for, you know, a 25% discount from where it's selling today. That's only happened once in all of history, that prices dropped that dramatically. And that was a very unique set of circumstances. And so it's just funny that I love this look like, yeah, I talk to these buyers all the time. Well, I'm going to wait till the market crashes and then I'm going to buy. Well, you're probably going to have a long wait. You probably are never going to buy if that's really what you're waiting for. Okay. So here's one, and I work in my home. Now, this is a bedroom in the house that we converted. It's 100% my office, meaning every square inch is work. I have a closet, the storage for work. We don't do anything personal in here. When I leave at the end of my business day, I close the door, and I consider myself working here. But even I struggle with, I can't remember, do I work at home or do I live at work? So yeah, I work really hard to make that distinction. I feel sorry for people who don't or can't, and I would urge you to, because it's a tough place to be in, but definitely you can feel overwhelmed if you lose that track of where you are. Again, classic meme, but this was a different take with a holiday gingerbread look to it. Your home is seen by you. It seems perfect. It's clean. Buyers, it looks a little small. Appraiser, it looks very plain, and there's defects on it. And of course, the assessor sees it as a mansion. We don't have that same issue in California as much as in other states, but that's a classic meme. You'll see this in different photo versions, different ways. Okay. Please note, I'm self-employed real estate agent, so if you see me talking to myself, please don't disturb because I'm having a staff meeting. This is me. I talk to myself a lot. I crack myself up. I say funny things and I laugh. I feel like I'm my best company during the day. I do work primarily on my own at home, though I'm on Zoom calls or phone calls a good part of the day. But and my wife will walk in, she'll say, "Who are you talking to?" I'll say, "My staff," which is me. So yeah, that was real. Okay, here we go, loading up. When a buyer calls and wants to see a house ASAP, but today was just scared day. So I'm not a buyer's agent. I feel kind of sorry for those who are. Although that's a process that many of us go through in our careers. We start off having to take whatever business comes in, and then we learn how to create parameters. That look on the face is classic. I've known realtors who, they're planning a day off. They're gonna get their nails done or their hair done or whatever, and they're like, "Oh my God!" to run out the door and show a property because they want the commission. And again, on one hand, I don't mean to laugh at them, but laugh with them on that one. Okay, next. Confucius says, "Your house is worth what it's worth, not what you want it to be worth." Yes. Great advice. The house is worth what it is. And I think that's the challenge. When a seller wants more than it's worth, I can say to them, "I can list it for that, but just know just because you list it doesn't make it worth that. It's worth what it's worth, and we're not going to get more than it's worth." Okay, so that's kind of a serious subject. I don't know if that's a good meme or not. This is classic. Send proof of funds so we can keep moving forward. So you get an offer, and the buyer wants to pay full price, and they're going to get a loan, and blah, 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 and they're going to put 5% down, 10% down, 20% all cash, and we'll ask for proof of funds. And so I get the equivalent of this. This says, I just clicked on it, hold on one second. Proof of funds, this is hard to read, I'm sorry, but the buyer has more than $38,000 in USA accounts, and then the deficiency will be deposited in this account within the next few weeks. You get these letters, and I've gotten them from, where the name on the bank statement doesn't match the name of the person, not even close. The address doesn't match. I've caught buyers where I had an agent who, quit working for me because I caught that the offer on his listing was a falsified bank statement where you can see I happened to bank at Wells Fargo, and the font was different than the rest of the statement. You could just tell it was fake. And so, on one hand, it's funny that you'll get people who are trying to squeeze in the deal, give you different paperwork. But on the other hand, it's a serious issue because you don't want to get into escrow with somebody who can't buy the house or can't close the transaction. Okay. This one I love. Me getting ready for my new life as a real estate agent after watching Selling Sunset. It is fascinating to me, real estate agents starting the business, thinking the visuals they have to have on their marketing material, and having to buy a fancy car, and just the whole vibe they put out in their marketing. I've seen new agents who want to take a picture of themselves with a team of people, as though that's their team, to try to pass it off. And the business, if you're starting out, that's not where you're going to start. Certainly not on your own. That's not going to be a realistic expectation. Okay, this one I loved personally. So magic pills. Imagine you get 2 of these magic pills. Which 2 would you take? Jeff, I'd love to see you chime in. If you're watching this on YouTube, chime in as well. Which of these 2 pills would you take? Number 1, good sleep. As a real estate agent, oftentimes we're worried about things, what's happening in the background. A lender who knows everything. A great lender. I interviewed a lender on my YouTube channel who was just phenomenal. I want to say really saved a deal. Chandler from Home Financial, and it was, he knew the particular definition for his client of a first-time home buyer included, and this was interesting, this guy had bought a house within the last 3 years, but they got divorced, and he was a single parent. And the first-time home buyer program gives exceptions for single parents and also parents when they divorce. So that was phenomenal. So Lendo's everything is very valuable. Adequate inventory, well, there always is adequate inventory. That's a lie that we don't have enough inventory. We have the exact amount we need for today's market, but we have adequate inventory. Mentally healthy agents of clients, that would be a nice change. There's a couple agents that are crazy. Side note, the 2 craziest agents I've met in the last 3 years all joined my brokerage. I haven't talked to them personally because I work for a big company, but that's kind of staggering. A brokerage you love. Boy, I love EXP. It's been great for me. That's a pill I have. So I don't know that I would take that one because I already have that one. Leads that usually convert, there are real estate agents who buy leads from Zillow and other places, and those aren't really necessarily leads, they're more data. I know agents who buy probate leads. Again, those aren't really leads, those are data, name, number of a person. Doesn't mean they're interested in working with you or even going to sell the property. A competent TC who works for years, really important. I've had the good fortune of having one for the last couple of years, before her another one. So you definitely want to work and have team members. A transaction coordinator who can help you with your file. Universally used, easily open locks. I just had a recent problem with one of my listings where the seller used a combo box for keys. He had a vendor who put them back in wrong, broke the lock box, couldn't get into them. Eventually we had a locksmith come out, break the box, pull the keys out, and put on a new super key. But definitely lock boxes are an issue. And then others who respond promptly. If only the other agents on the deals responded promptly, my life would be different. So you get 2 of these pills. I'm going to say I have number 5. I would love a good night's sleep. I work at that all the time. I take CBD. I track my sleep. And that's definitely something as you get older, I think it gets more important. I have number 7. I have a great TC, not even a competent TC. I would take number 9 as one I don't have. And I would take number 4, mentally healthy agents and clients. So my clients are mentally healthy, but the other agents oftentimes aren't. So how about you? Which ones do you find? Sorry about making myself at your expense. No, love you. Jeff, you're glad to have you any time. It's always fun to hear from you. Okay, let's go back to the list. Next meme. I think we're getting close to the last ones for this week's issue. Oh, here's one I love. This is a classic meme, Steven Crowder, and he's kind of a political comedian guy. And a classic meme was he sat at a table, and I forget what the actual topic was, but you'll see a number of these memes where people put different graphics on the front of this one. So smells like should be required in the MLS category, just like number of bedrooms changed my mind. Yeah, I had a listing recently, I still have it, where the property, the owner passed and was in the property for 5 days in July, and I didn't realize the scientific effect of that, the effect it has on the smell of the house. And we had cleaners go in twice, and I had an expert tell me, no, the problem is you need to have it, it's like hazmat cleaned. And so smells like, I've had some pretty wild smells in my career, and so yeah, that should be maybe a category in the MLS to prepare people. Okay, here's another one. When you go into contract, the feeling, the energy, it's light, you're happy, toasting. I always tell people, let's wait till we close. And when you go into closing. Now, in some markets, you actually physically go to the closing, which is at the escrow title department or the attorney's office. Nowadays, certainly California, is all done kind of remotely and separately, where the seller signs papers, the buyer signs papers. It's all done over a couple of days. But at the end, this is kind of what it feels like you've been on a long, tough weekend, and you're glad to still be alive. So, yeah, welcome to real estate. Okay, this is a good one. I'd love to get your answers on this one. A movie describes how a realtor's life is during their first year. So I think this is Tom Hanks in, is it Stranded? Where he's on an island by himself for a period of time, then he finally gets discovered. He has a coconut guy that he talks to. I didn't see the movie, to be honest. What would be your movie that describes a realtor's life during the first year? I would say Gone with the Wind, in that, if you remember Gone with the Wind, they open up, life is grand, they're all dressed nice. The hardest thing in their life is when's nap time and when are they barbecuing, and all their clothes look perfect. And by the end of the movie, she's grasping for dirt and fighting for her life. And I think on one hand it's funny, on the other hand I think it's true that it takes grit to get through any business, to get started. I think of it as like a runway. that your business is like going down the runway. You only have so much runway. You've got to get lift. You only have so much fuel. You only have so much time. As a new real estate agent, you have to really focus on making sure you do everything you can to clear the runway as fast as possible. So that's my take, would be Gone with a Win. What's yours? Put in the chat box. Love to see your answers on that as well. Okay, and do we have another one? I think we do. Oh, yeah. This was funny. All realtors, when somebody says, I'm selling my house, you know, there's an equivalent to this one, which is in any real estate Facebook group, when somebody says, I'm thinking of joining this real estate company, you'll see like in 2 hours, like 150 comments. And then this one also is, you'll see when people say, looking for a good realtor in a certain city, and in Facebook, you'll just see it light up with people recommending somebody that they want to refer to that's the world's best realtor. I always find that one interesting. I find the answers interesting if it's an area that I work in. This one, men will appreciate. You know, in urinals, normally we keep at least one between us as men. I don't know how women do it. I think they go together and they talk. Men generally don't talk in the restroom, for ladies, if you don't know that. And so, hey, are you a realtor? Yeah. Good, sweet, I'm a lender. Getting a little too uncomfortable too quickly. You know, it's interesting. I think of sales as degrees of intimacy, right? That we go from somebody's a stranger to doing business with them. And asking for business is an intimate part of the business process. And I just find lenders are so out of touch with what it takes to develop a relationship and get business that their opening salvo is, oh, your realtor, great. I love all your FHA loans. Well, why would I take my commission and hand it to you? I even know who you are. Kind of like being next to me in the urinal. You're a little too close and a little too, it's a little uncomfortable to have you up on my business like that. So, okay, and last meme for today. From The Office, and this is a classic meme photo, and people change it. Me waiting for someone to come to my open house. I had an agent yesterday ask me to hold my listings open during the week, and what's the best time? And I think that agents need to understand that in general, an open house is going to get a few people. You got to drive traffic, unless you have an open house that's particularly new or hot. You got to drive traffic to it, and just waiting for people to come in the door can be frustrating. And yet you want to be on with people there to talk to them and meet them and to use your time valuably. So, yeah, you can look out the window, wait for people to come in. But I would say better is before you get to the open house, put the time in, post it online, talk to the neighbors, door knock the neighbors, drop off flyers maybe. Do what you can to get people to come and take responsibility for your open house attendance. Okay, so that is real estate meme stream. We do this in Facebook. This is on Real Estate Humor is our website, and we do this and we post it. There's more memes. Oh, look at the people sending us some memes coming in. Some I don't find funny, but we do this. If you go into the Facebook group, you can join in live and participate with us. Put your comments in it. We'd love to have you do that. I post on other YouTube, Facebook channels and on my YouTube as well. But love to have you come in and participate with us. Make it fun. What's your best meme? Put it into Real Estate Humor or comment on this stream. Love to have your jokes. What keeps your mental sanity? Bill Gross, I am available on social media at Bill Gross EXP. And until I talk to you next, make today your best day ever. Thanks so much.